All right, so India is gearing up for its biggest ever military exercise. But the soldiers, they aren't on the ground, they're in the sky. We're talking about a massive war game that's focused entirely on drones, and it's signaling a huge shift in modern warfare. So let's break down what's really happening. So, you might be wondering, what on earth is a drone war game? Well, don't think of it as just some computer simulation. No, this is more like a full dress rehearsal for a whole new kind of combat. It's a live test of tech, tactics, and defenses against unmanned aerial systems. And let me tell you, these tests are absolutely crucial because the threat they represent is very, very real. Now, this exercise isn't happening in a vacuum. It's a direct response to a rapidly escalating tech competition in the region. We're witnessing a whole new kind of arms race here. And this one isn't fought with size and brute force, but with agility, with technology, and with innovation. So, what kicked all this off? Well, it all goes back to a brief but really intense 4-day clash back in May. And that conflict? It was a massive wake up call. Why? Because for the first time, drones were used on a huge scale. It fundamentally changed the battlefield and forced everyone to go back to the drawing board. So, what we're really seeing is a classic action reaction cycle, right? On one side, Pakistan's large scale use of drones in that conflict forced a response. And now, on the other side, India is hitting the accelerator on its own development and planning this massive exercise. It's a direct competitive race for technological supremacy in the sky. So, with this new threat clearly established, what is India's immediate answer? Well, it has a name: Exercise Cold Start. This is their frontline plan to counter a drone threat that has become absolutely impossible to ignore. And this isn't just any old exercise. It's the biggest of its kind India has ever held, scheduled for the first week of October. What's really interesting, though, is that its scope goes way beyond just the military. You've got defense industry officials and top researchers involved, making this a coordinated national-level effort to solve the drone problem. Okay, so what are they actually trying to achieve here? Well, it's not just about testing their own drones. Critically, it's about testing their counter-drone systems. The goal is to toughen up the national air defenses by learning from the past. They're even going to recreate specific scenarios from that May conflict to find and fix any weaknesses. And hey, this isn't just speculation. A quote from Air Marshal Rakesh Sinha of the Integrated Defense Staff confirms it directly. He stated the goal is to make their counter-drone systems, or counter-UAS, completely robust. I mean, you can't get much clearer than that. That is a very serious statement of intent. So, Exercise Cold Start is the immediate step. But what's the long game? Well, that brings us to a much bigger, much more ambitious vision, a plan to build an impenetrable, long-term air shield. This long-term vision is called Sudarshan Chakra. It's a huge project to build a completely homegrown, multi-layered air defense system. And just to give you a sense of the scale of it, officials are already comparing it to Israel's famous Iron Dome. And this really shows you how today's actions connect directly to tomorrow's ambitions. The Cold Start exercise this October is that critical first step. It's the building block for the full deployment of that Sudarshan Chakra system, which they're targeting for 2035. You know, that Iron Dome comparison is powerful for a reason. It signals that this system isn't just for countering simple drones. No way. It's being designed as a comprehensive shield, one that's capable of detecting and destroying a whole range of aerial threats, from slow-moving drones to much faster, more complex weapons. So, what does multi-layered actually mean in practice? Well, it starts with mastering drones and counter-drone systems. That's step one. But from there, it just keeps scaling up to integrate conventional aircraft and eventually, even systems that can defend against next-generation hypersonic weapons. The ambition here is just massive. Which brings us right back to the core motivation behind this entire push. Why invest so much time, so much money, and so much effort? Well, the answer lies in the perpetual, relentless challenge of a high-tech arms race. And this quote from Air Marshal Ashutosh Dixit really cuts to the heart of the matter. It's a remarkably blunt and clear assessment. He says, they are also working and becoming better, so we have to go one step ahead. You know, innovation isn't a choice, it's an absolute necessity. And this leaves us with a final, crucial question. In a race where every advance is met with a countermove, where both sides are constantly evolving, What does it truly mean to be one step ahead? Answering that question isn't just an academic exercise, it's the challenge that will define the future of warfare itself.